P-line came as standard with the Shawby Marathon Racer tyres, so I was going to upgrade it to my favourite tyres, the Continental Contact Urbans, these ones. But then Brompton came along with their own version. They are folding and they come in two colours, black and tan wool. We're going to make a video on the tyres, but to do that I first will need to remove my P-line front and rear wheel. So this video is how to remove your P-line front and rear wheel. Previously, when you changed your Brompton front and rear wheel, you needed a 15mm spanner, unless of course you had a Superlight, which you needed a 15mm spanner for the rear and an Allen key for the front. Now you just need a 5mm Allen key, which conveniently is on the Brompton toolkit. As mentioned, I will need a 5mm Allen key. We're going to do the front wheel first. If you're only interested in the rear wheel, you can skip to it on the timestamp below. First step is to remove the air from your front tyre. You just need to depress the valve and let your air out. And now our tyre's all squishy. Step 2, put your 5mm Allen key in and undo your wheel nut. I'm going to undo the bolt on the other side and take it off, and then take the axle bolt out and then drop the wheel out. So now I'm all ready for changing my tyre. At the moment, my chain is in my largest sprocket. It's always easier to change your wheel when your chain is in your smallest sprocket. So I'm just going to change that before I remove the rear wheel. I'm changing gear whilst I'm pedalling. The next thing I'm going to do is take the air out of my tyre. Actually, I've already done this, so I don't need to do that. The next step is to use my 5mm Allen key to undo the nut on my rear wheel. And now I'm going to remove the nut on the other side and then slide the axle out. As you can see, this is the axle and the bolt just goes onto the other side, like that. Next, you need to take the tension off of the chain. Be careful when you remove the tension. It could still have a lot of tension in it, so just be gentle. By lifting the chain tensioner up, like that. And then we want to take the chain off of the sprocket, and then you can simply drop your rear wheel out of the frame. And now I'm all ready to replace the tyre on my rear wheel. Now we're going to reinstall our wheels, starting with the front. But before I install my wheel, during Brompton's routine testing, they found that certain P-line bicycles had an axle nut that didn't allow the threads to connect with the bolt well enough. These nuts have a recess like this. And if your bicycle is affected, you need to talk to your Brompton dealer and get a nut like this without the recess. This only affects early Brompton P-line bicycles with serial numbers lower than 2203 113405. It only affects P-line bikes. The first thing I'm going to do is make sure my tyre is the right way round, this way round. Then I'm going to squeeze the tyre in between my brake calipers and put the axle into the front forks. I'm then going to get the skewer and pop it through my axle, putting the tab washer the right way round so it locates into the hole of the fork. I'm then going to put the tab washer onto the forks on the other side of the wheel and then pop the hook onto the axle, followed by the nut. So I'm just going to do my front wheel up finger tight using my 5mm Allen key, and then I'm going to pop the torque wrench on to do it up to 7 Newton meters. And now I'm ready to blow up my tyre and then to do my rear wheel. And now I'm going to show you how to reinstall your rear wheel on your P-line. So the first thing we're going to do is put the chain onto the smallest sprocket, and then we're going to squeeze the tyre to get the tyre through the brake calipers. Next, I'm going to align the axle to the dropouts on the rear triangle. So it just pops in. Then we're going to put the skewer through the wheel out to the other side and screw on the axle nut from the other side. I'm then going to get my 5mm Allen key and do up my axle bolt gently, and once it's tight enough that I can't do it anymore, I'll get my torque wrench, attach that, and like the front wheel, it needs to be done up to 7 Newton meters. Just like that. Then I'll put the chain tensioner back on the chain. And now my rear wheel is nicely installed. So all I need to do is pump up my tyres and go out for a ride. As you can see, it is a much simpler process than on the old 3-speed wheel, because you don't have to remove the chain tensioner and set up the hub gears. Wow, look at the sparkliness. It is amazing. And now I get to ride it. Bye! If you like this video about removing and reinstalling your wheels on your P-line, we'd really like it if you gave us a big thumbs up. Did we miss anything? Or do you have any tips on removing and reinstalling your P-line wheels? We'd really like it if you let us know and comment in the comment section below. But right now, I have some riding to do. If you want to see more of our videos, we'd love it if you subscribe. I was going to try it with the crank level, but it doesn't seem to want to stay. And I wanted to upgrade it to my favourite Continental Contact Urbans. Brompton came along with their own version. These ones that are folding. I will need a 5mm Allen key. Front wheel first. If you want to skip to the rear wheel, you can skip to it. Oh, sorry. Next, I want to take. Had the incorrect. No, that's not incorrect, is it? Let me start again. For my metallic black P-line, I have chosen Continental Contact. They are also reflective, so I can be seen in the dark. Can I do that again? I'm then going to put the hook onto the axle on the other side. No, I'm not. I'm going to put the tab washer on and then the axle, aren't I? May I do that again?